All right, guys. Today we're joined by Danny, and Danny is on absolute tear when it comes to closing deals. Been in the program where it really has been really putting a lot of time and effort into the business with his business partner Santos for the last 2 months, and he's closed 8 deals and has about 20 or so more in the works. So obviously, an absolute rock star stud, and very excited to kind of hear from him in terms of what's been working for him. And Danny's deals have been really been coming from him just pounding the pavement and just kind of prospecting his own merchants, which is awesome. So, all right, Danny, take it away, man. Do you want to start off with maybe a quick intro about yourself, your business partner, and kind of what got you interested in the opportunity?
So my name is Danny Mazariegos, and I'm currently partnered with my partner. His name is Santos Diaz. Right now, he has his hands full right now with the current store that we're in. But so I'm here. But yeah, we're 24 years old. We're from Long Island, New York, and we live in a very competitive market. But that's not scaring us because our ambition and our hunger is so high to the point where we don't even care about competition. We don't care about who's in the way. We're here to take them all out. And yeah, we're coming in very aggressive, and I think that's the right way to approach it. You got to just go out there like a fearless lunatic, and just have no fear and just understand the law of averages. The law of averages is always on your side if you understand the way it works, and if you just apply yourself every day to it. So every single day while we have a job, we work 10-hour shifts, but we still have time to go out there and cold knock and we go out there to any type of business. So mechanic shops, pizzerias, delis, variety stores, you name it. We go to everything. And actually, it's funny because we have 2 deals we're going to close later today. It's about to be a junkyard. Actually, four. We have 4 deals we're closing later today. We have 2 jewelry stores, and we have a junkyard and a body shop, and maybe potentially a deli slash bakery. So yeah, we're closing. We have a lot of deals in the works right now because we understand the law of averages. So every 100 businesses you go to, obviously you're going to get rejected 90% of the time, but there's still that small percentage of leads that you have left that are going to be either warm leads to hot leads. So you just have to make sure you pay attention to those who actually give you the time of day, and to not waste time to people who just don't really give you a clear answer, or if the owner can never be reached, or if people are just gatekeeping, meaning they're just blowing off steam. So you gotta just make sure you understand who's wasting your time and who's actually serious. That's the hardest thing, I would say, in the beginning, is understanding who's serious and who's not, who's willing to go through the deal and who's not. And you have to really pickpocket and understand what's like, who's serious and who's not, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's what you can really figure out.
Yeah,
awesome, man.
Danny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to, because I started with you guys, you and Santos on the journey. Just tell us like exactly like when you guys signed up and when it clicked for you guys that okay, we're going in this 1,000%, and not we got this, we're moving forward.
That's just so we started when did we start? We started, I think, maybe April. I think April, May. But to be honest, we weren't having any success because we had our hands full with other stuff, with jobs and stuff like that. So the whole summer, like that whole summer after that, it was completely slow for us, right? But then we were like, what are we doing here? We had to give ourselves a reality check. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to give themselves a reality check. They want to play the victim and say, oh, it's just hard, blah, 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 blah. But well, life is hard, right? If you wanna have great things in life, you have to work hard, and you gotta suck it up and go out there and put in the work. And that's what we did. And we were like, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just go in and not quit our jobs just yet, but let's do both of these simultaneously. So what we did was we started, going out there and just using the methods that John gave us, with the sales leads and stuff like that within the course, and having my personal meetings with him, and we were just applying everything he told us, and obviously we used the law of averages on our side, and we closed our first deal, I think, in the end of August. It took some time in September to really officially seal the deal because there was some paperwork issues involved, but we finally closed our first deal around the end of August. And then from there, September, I think we didn't close it. I don't even remember if we closed anything, but October was when we really pushed the gun. That's when we really pulled the trigger, and we closed 4 deals that month. And then this month alone, we already closed 4. And then we have a good like 10 to 20 more deals that want to sign up with us.
Absolutely, great job.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So let's dive into some of the specifics, man. If you don't mind, kind of sharing your secret sauce. Obviously, it sounds like you guys are just absolutely animals when it comes to going out and just prospecting, which always helps, right? But that being said, what are some maybe specific things you can share with the clients as far as walking into a store? What do you say? How do you approach the owner? What do they
So,
say back, right?
so one thing I will say is that we have an advantage on, I don't know about other people, that we're bilingual. So we
Yeah,
live in a
yeah,
very Hispanic neighborhood. So we speak Spanish very well, and we know how to relate we know how to relate with them. So we're Central American, right? And where I live is mostly predominantly Central American. So we relate on a lot of values, a lot of traditions, all that stuff. It's easy to build rapport like that, right? But let's say, I walk into somewhere where it's not like that, where it's, your average, American. We just build rapport like, hey, first off, we walk in, oh, pardon, we walk in and we introduce ourselves like, hey, my name is Danny, my name is Santos. We come in, you got to come in nice. You got to come in with a nice haircut. You got to come in with a suit. I always come in with a suit. Come in with a suit. Sometimes I'll even bring a briefcase just to look even extra professional. I'll bring my iPad. I invested in an iPad, and I come in with my business cards and I say, hey, we do merchant services. Take a look at your system. What do you have? Right. And the thing is, the best thing to do is not to force things. If they already have a good deal and there's literally nothing wrong with them, then I just say, thank you, have a good day. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Right. But that's the whole thing about the law of averages. When you keep going, you're going to run into people who have problems. So what you do is, some people, they don't want to tell you their problems off the rip. That's why you got to keep asking, like, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Do and then eventually they're gonna tell on themselves, like, you know what? Square, they shut down, they froze my account last month and they messed up my batch. I didn't really like that. Okay. So you use Square, which is, a system that doesn't really care about their clients and blah blah blah. Like, oh, but we'll come in, we're local sales reps. We can come in and we're 24/7 pretty much. You call me at 3 a.m. in the morning, I'll come to your shop. I don't care. It's just, you got to sell it to them. It's all about just selling it and just pretty much tell them, and obviously not lying, but you have to really tell them like, hey, this is what we do. We're here to help you. If you have this problem, we can fix it. If you don't want this, we can take it out. If you want to add this part of your system, we can add that part of your system. And if you have any questions, concerns, or thoughts, you can call me anytime, 24/7. Doesn't matter the time. So you just have to be there for your clients at all times. And when it comes to sealing the deal, you just have to make sure you're adding value, and you just have to ask questions. But also, like I said, you have to understand if you're wasting your time or not, because some people like to waste time, and some business owners that have free time and they don't really want to, blow you off in a rude way. They'll just sit there and like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So you want to get to the meat and the potatoes, like, hey, what can we do today? Or what can we give you right now? Or what do you need for us to give you, like, for you to give us your business? That's like, I just get to the meat and potatoes. If they say nothing and they're still not budging, I say, have a good day. I'll walk away. But if they give me like maybe one little thing, me and Santos go back to our house, and then we pretty much do our research to see, do we have this? Does Clover have this app? Does Clover have this, that, a new feature that they can give them? If they have it, then we tell them, hey, we have this. We can close a deal for you. For example, right? I'll tell you what. Right now, we have another deal in the works. It's a pizzeria. It does 80 grand a month. And we asked them, hey, what will make you switch over? Like, what will make you switch with us? Because he has a really old system. He says, what will make us switch with you? One thing I need you to have maybe an app that makes me track my drivers. You know how DoorDash works? Like, I can see where my drivers are at. Oh, okay, that will make you switch over for us. Okay, cool. We went home, we did our research, we found an app, right? That has that on Clover.
yeah.
And we went to him and we're like, hey, we have it. He's like, oh, okay, perfect. Let's sign up next week. Boom. You just have to you have to do your due diligence. You have to go out there and do your research and, give them what they need.
Solve
Yeah.
problems. Yeah, absolutely. Solving problems.
Solve problems and add value and make their life easier.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's good stuff, man. Yeah, for sure. And so some key takeaways for people who are listening or watching. I think number one, you said, really making sure that you're understanding all of averages and don't waste time on people who aren't serious or aren't committed to actually following through. So being able to take that out, it's kind of, obviously when you first start, you're not going to be able to know. But as you start getting more reps in, you'll be able to start seeing the difference between people who are actually warm or interested and people who are willing to wasting your time. That's the
Yeah,
first thing you said. The
it's the
second thing you
toughest.
said, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's the toughest thing. It's just like that's the hardest thing at first is understanding who's legit and who's not. Like who really wants to go through with it and who's just blowing off steam. That's the
Yeah.
hardest part.
Yep. Yep. And then the second thing is really just making sure that, when you walk in to a store, you say you introduce yourself, you're professional, you have your iPad, you look like you're about business, and you're pleasant, but you also ask very direct questions and you try to see, does it make sense for them? Can I fix it? What do they need? What are some things they're not happy with? And if nothing's wrong, don't pressure them. Don't try to force something that's not there. But if something is wrong, we're going to tell them, hey, I'm local. I'm here. You need me at 3 a.m, you can call me. I'm your man right here, right now. And I can take care of that for you. I'm not some nameless person on the phone that you're trying to call a customer service 800 number, right? So, yeah, for sure. I think that's a huge selling point as well.
I would also add another thing to it. One thing I've realized about talking to a lot of these business owners is that a lot of their like, let's say they're not tied in with the bank, right? Because I can also go on that tangent as well too. But let's say they're with like another local sales rep, right? One thing that I've realized is they have the same complaint is that with a local sales rep, that a lot of them don't really care about their customer service with their current merchant. What do I mean by that? For example, whenever there's a problem, they call the merchant, they never answer, or they're always on vacation, right? They're just not available. You have to be available at all times. You have to tell them, like, listen, we're here to do business for the long term. We're not here for the silly games. We're not here for, yes, sometimes I'll take a vacation here and there, but it's like, I'm not always on vacation. Like there was this one merchant that was telling me like, oh, every time I call this lady, she's always on vacation every single time. You have to be local. Like you have to understand that once you have them in, you have to check up on them. And a way that we're building relationships too is even, for example, for like Thanksgiving, right? To show them that you have their back. I text them like a simple, oh, happy Thanksgiving to the merchant. That goes a long way because it shows you that you care about them. When Christmas comes, I plan on, maybe buying them like a little Christmas basket and maybe, or give them a little gift card. Like that's how you build and maintain relationships. You got to show them that you care about them. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I have your business. Let me just go. Let me just leave. You have to drop in on them and let them know like, hey, I care about your business. Even if it's like a restaurant, drop in maybe one day during the month and, eat their food, hey, how's everything going? And it's funny because you come in and you pay debit or credit, you're pretty much paying yourself while maintaining a relationship. So it's a win, it's a win-win. So you got to think that way,
Yep. And Danny, just one thing, just so everybody knows, how old are you?
I'm 24, turning 25.
Yeah,
and
so Danny's one of our youngest that I know, person out there that's getting out there and being super successful. And he's really turned it around since when I first spoke to him a few months ago, and I was like, guys, you guys got to get serious with this. You got to push forward. You guys can do it. You can build your portfolio. Even if you did it over the next 5 or 10 years, you're starting off super young where you still have an opportunity to learn this and just build up a huge massive portfolio. And for him, being that age and taking it to heart and being out there doing it, yeah, he is going to get there, a lot faster.
Yep. It's all about taking action. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at everything like you've been saying, man, it breaks so many limiting beliefs that people have when they come into the program. It's like, oh, I don't have time to do this because I have a full-time job. Well, you're doing that, right? I don't know how to speak to people. I'm not in the sales. Well, you're still doing it.
Exactly.
And on top of that, it's like, like I can't. I don't have enough support from the team. My book appointment package isn't giving me good leads. Like, well, you're still doing it. It's like at the end of the day, are you going to make excuses or are you going to get results, right? And that's
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. A lot of people, they just want the easy way out. There's no such thing as an easy way out. Like this business is amazing. Like this industry is amazing, and there's a lot of potential and there's a lot of opportunity in this business, and it's passive. Everybody wants to make money in their sleep, but are you willing to do the work to actually build that up? Most people don't want to do it. They want to dream about it. So
yeah, it's kind of like if you built a house from the ground up. The most important part is the foundation. You got to build the foundation strong. Then you got to build a strong house. Then you can relax.
Exactly. Yep.
Any other thing, like if you're talking to let's say you're talking to somebody who just came into the program like last week and they haven't closed their first deal yet, maybe they're struggling a little bit with some of those needs. Any kind of piece of advice you want to give them?
For someone that just joined,
Yeah.
what I will say is,
How they set up, how can they set themselves up for success?
okay, well, the first thing is, like I said, make sure your appearance is on point. Make sure you come off professional. I would also, like, let's say if you have like really I don't know, like if you have like really like let's say like you're not really confrontational like that, I would practice at home with a family member with your sales pitch. I would also maybe invest in a sales book, like for example, like I bought a book. I mean, I don't want to get political here, but I bought a book from Donald Trump called The Art of the Deal, and that book really like made me understand how to negotiate and how to like how to really like make the sale into my favor. And if I don't, and if my and if the odds don't, no, like for example, like if the deal doesn't like go my way, or if I don't like something about the deal, I know how to walk away, because I know I have that abundance in my mind saying that, okay, this didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but I can still have 20, 40 more leads down the line. So it helps on, I would say invest in education and find a strategy in your area. And also you got to know your area too. You got to know your area. Let's say you're like in Texas or something, or I don't know, master your area. What's the demographic there? Maybe if you understand the demographic there, maybe you can build some rapport there, like with the culture. Like let's say you live in like a predominantly Mexican neighborhood. Study the culture a little bit, and when you go in there and you throw a sales pitch out there, maybe you can distract them with saying, "Oh, I've been to Mexico. I've been to Tijuana. Or I've been here now. I love it here." Blah blah. You got to come off as like you know someone that you can relate to, because people like people they can relate to. So if you can relate to him some way, they'd be like, oh, okay, maybe he's a cool guy. Maybe I can, consider him giving him my business. And that's where you got to add the value. Once you break that barrier of him, like, who is this guy? You break that barrier, and then once you break that and you bring in the value, then be like, okay, this guy's certified. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll give him a chance. And then once he gives you that chance, you make sure that you don't go back on your word, and you give him a good service, you give him the deal that you guys had, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, some key things he covered on, which I really really love, is build rapport. I tell it all the time, build rapport, find common ground, talk to the person. You don't have to go in like a robot. Just go in and talk to the person. Hey, Aaron, how's it going, man? Great. Did you catch the game this past weekend? Man, that was crazy. Boom, boom. You're just talking normal to people. Okay, so that's key. Build the rapport. And then the biggest, most powerful thing is mindset. Danny put himself in a mindset, and it's hard to tell people, look, don't be afraid to lose the deal. Don't be afraid to lose what you don't have. But
Exactly.
at the beginning, you really are anxious to get a deal. So you're just like, oh man, I want to do everything right,
Exactly.
But you have to put yourself in that mindset that, look, if I don't get this account, it doesn't matter. I can try again another day, or
Exactly.
there's plenty more down the road.
Plenty more down the road.
Yep. So having that mindset, that not don't be afraid to lose the deal. And then Danny took action. He went out and bought his book. He said, sales is not my, I've never done sales before. I'm going to learn how to do sales. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to gather, study everything from it. And I know Danny wasn't on a lot of the lives that I did because he's working. Like when I did Zooms with him and Santos, it was at 10 p.m. way after they got off work.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was like, man, I know these guys, they don't have time during the day. They are working 10 hours a day on the regular job. So, catching them on a Zoom. So that's why it took them a little longer to also learn, because, their time was limited. Okay.
Like you would see me on the lives with John. Like I would have like crazy eye bags. Like my eye bags were like this. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, but once they said, okay, let's do it. We got all the tools. We got, we're two young guys. Let's get out there and blast it. And now they're on fire.
Yeah, we're on fire for sure.
That's amazing. All right, guys. I think this was a super, super good call. Tons of gems here. So very, very excited to get this to the community. That's everything I have on my side. Any last words from you guys?
I just want to say thank you guys for having me on.